Hey guys, what is up? It's me, JRPG Bro. We're playing more Persona 5 Royal right now. We got 2 more days until Madarame's change of heart. Can't wait to see how that whole thing goes down. Obviously, we should be successful since we took the treasure with plenty of time, in advance. So we are going to have, some free time right now. I'm going to have some free time after the story event happens. Like I said, we're going to follow a lot of main story beats in this game. We're going to do a lot of, familiar patterns. So we want to build up our confidence. We want to work on our social, events and dungeon crawl and do mementos requests. There's a lot of stuff we have to juggle as we play this game, and I know to a lot of people it's very overwhelming, which is why people are like, I'm not touching that game with a 10-foot pole, and I get it. Listen, I get it. At first, the first time I played this, it was very daunting. I actually grabbed Persona 3 years ago, after, I guess it was like, winter semester here at college. You have that month off, so I was like, let me play this game, and I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and it's overwhelming. They throw a lot of stuff at you. And it definitely does feel very overwhelming here. So we're going to actually pop over here to the Underground Mall. We can hang out with Maruki, but we're going to be locked out of his confidant arc at some point in the very near future. So we're going to put a pin in that for right a second. And we're going to spend some time with Ann, actually. Like I said, we got to work on our other confidants, kind of juggle right now between Ryuji and Ann in terms of our party members. But also, we're going to be having Yusuke popping up soon, like, how Ann was blocked out before we did Kamoshida. Same thing here.
Hey. Yeah. Thanks.
On's confident arc kind of confuses me every once in a while because it's kind of focusing on like 3 or 4 different things. Like for a bit, it was like when we first started, it was really heavily on the Kamoshida stuff because we get one event with her Kamoshida stealing his heart. So that's all well and good. That's fine. I get it, And then she kind of jumps into the Shiho arc, and then kind of also, moves into the. I want to say it's the modeling arc as well, and the Shiho and modeling thing kind of coincide with each other. I don't know. Hers always kind of throws me off just a little bit in comparison to say like Ryuji, who is pretty simple and straightforward in my opinion. Some of these confidant arcs, like I said, I'm not trying to talk shit on any of these confidants because I think they're all really well done. I just think some are better than others, and there's just a lot going on at the same time. So that being said, we have one more actual day left before Madarame's change of heart. And we're having a message from our teacher Kawakami, aka Becky. So we're actually going to spend some time with her. We're going to request her. After we do this crossword puzzle here, we're going to continue her confidant arc. The crossword puzzles are brand new for Persona 5 Royal. So this is like a brand new feature here. So all we have to do is literally answer the blue highlighted area. That being said, it's not mandatory to do them. You might get lost. So like, for example, I'm probably going to forget to do them some nights. And eventually we're going to fall behind and I'm not going to know what's what because I'm pretty stupid. And, at some points I'm going to be like, oh man, I got to do this, I got to do this. You're kind of juggling like 4 or 5 things at a time in one of these games. And you really are kind of losing. I don't want to say you're losing, what you're supposed to do and everything like that, but you kind of are. So we got that taken care of. And now we're going to actually call up Kawakami. We're going to get her confidant arc going. And like I said, hers is probably one of the best rewards in the game for maxing it out. So we do want to get it done fairly early once we start having more confidant arcs later on in the summer as well. So we're going to call her up. We're going to spend some time with her. We're going to see what's going on with her. And let's check it out.
Master! Jeez. What?
All right.
night.
We're getting started.
Alright, so Kawakami's arc really is definitely interesting. Like I said, we get to see a whole different side of her. And I gotta say, like, it's really interesting. We see her in school, we see how she behaves, we see how she acts, her attitude and everything like that, and outside of school, she's totally different. And, you know, I gotta say, like, that's really a really cool thing about these games, is that as a whole, you know, as this game as a whole, the characters kind of, specifically like Kawakami, we get to see a whole different side of them. We get, you know, more depth, more layers. And especially since these confidant link, you know, events are a little bit on the longer side in comparison to previous games, we get a little bit more. I always like it when we get a little bit more, as opposed to getting less. You know what I mean? I know that sounds kind of stupid to say, oh, you're gonna get less. No, I like when we get a decent amount of these confidant events, so to speak. And, you know, it's definitely, I don't know. It really is, gives us more of these characters. These characters feel more fleshed out. Like I said, Persona 5 feels like the perfect blend of dungeon crawling and, you know, the social simulation aspects of the game, the franchise. And as a whole, it also kind of really, in my honest opinion, is a great way for newcomers. Like, you know, I know a lot of people like, you know, gatekeeping when it comes to their video game franchises. And I feel like, you know, the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, you know, the fan base is that. Honestly, I know, you know, people probably do gatekeep. Honestly, if you want to start by playing Persona 5, more power to you. I really recommend it. Like, I would love it if people were, you know, like, oh man, I love this. This is actually something really interesting. I'm going to check this out, you know. Just warning, if you do start with 5 and you want to go back and play the previous games, which are, you know, not required, it's going to be hard because there's a lot of different mechanics between games. And I feel like 5 is the ultimate in terms of everything kind of just coming together as a whole. So, adding Dr. Maruki for Royal, we get different school interactions inside the classroom, so we'll have different questions and everything like that, and he brings a whole new confidant arc. Very interesting. Maruki, like I said, there are 3 prerequisites that we have to meet at the very minimum to activate that new additional month. Usually Persona games, they kind of end in January. Not January, like, you know, December, like Christmas is like the last day, and we kind of get a time lapse, you know, to the very last day, or to Valentine's Day, and then the very last day, which is usually like a month later. So it's really not, once we hit that time frame, it's a lot, you know, closer. So I'm throwing it out there. We have to max out Maruki's confidant arc, and we have to max out 2 others, and we have to do both of them. We have to do, one of them is more so doing it right, so to speak, by which I mean, like, we have to answer, you know, certain responses, and that's always going to be important for us, is to do certain responses anyway, because it gets us to rank up with our confidant sooner. So as you guys can see, we only have 1 confidant available for today, and that would be Ryuji. So more likely than not, we're gonna probably end up spending time with Ryuji. But first, I want to go to this underground walkway here. You see Yusuke's there. I don't think we're going to be able to spend time with Yusuke yet. I don't think his confidant arc is open at this time. And like I said, we got to wait for Madarame's change of heart, which is going to happen tomorrow. So it's going to be a big cutscene. If you guys remember what happened with Kamoshida, we're going to have another event like that, with this time with Madarame. So it's going to follow a basic pattern here. throughout the game. So we're going to actually open the store here. And we're going to go check out what's going on with Ryuji. I think we're going to hit rank 8 with him. 8 or 9. I lost count. But we're actually really close to finalizing his confidant arc. And if you guys are familiar with how the persona confidants work, social links, once they hit rank 10, their persona evolves. They get an awakening is what they call it. And then we get the ability to fuse the ultimate persona of that arcana. And if I'm correct, Ryuji is of the chariot, so it'd be Chiyu. So let's see what's going on with him.
What's up? Hey. All right, let's go.
That's awesome. Kind of exciting, isn't it?
Hey. Actually... Nah. All right. Wanna head back?
I was wrong. We're at rank 9 now with Ryuji. Holy shit. That's crazy. That really is absolutely crazy. We're gonna be able to max out his confidant arc, and he's gonna be done. You know, I like how Ryuji's confidant arc really started with him, just wanting to train, and then it kind of intersected with the whole track team arc. And like, we're like, oh, you want to rejoin them? I mean, come on. He doesn't want to, and it's really interesting to see that whole arc kind of kick off and kind of move forward. Like I said, we've kind of locked out of some of these confidant arcs for a period of time, and since we'll be able to finish his up pretty soon, it makes it easier for us to kind of start slotting in Yusuke as a whole, and that's just me thinking like that. It's like, okay, so Ryuji's gone, we're done with him, we don't actually have to hang out with him anymore. We're done. No more hanging out with Ryuji ever again. We can actually still hang out with him if we really want to. And we'll probably have to do that, at some point later on in the game. I have this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach we're going to be done with all our confidants before, the end of the game, the end of the main game, which is definitely an interesting thought process. If you think about it like that, it's going to be like, okay, so we have this last palace or whatever, and we have this, time between when we complete it and the deadline, and it's going to be like, oh, well, I guess we'll just do random stuff. Like, I have a feeling that's going to happen, and that rarely happens for me in a Persona game. It happened when we playing Persona 4 Golden last time, where literally most of January we had nothing to do because I finished all my social links, so I have a feeling that's going to happen again. And that's not that big of a deal. I mean, it just kind of means we just kind of fast forward a little bit here, and we have a bit of a time skip. And having time skips, they're not always, sometimes there's just some things that are just like, oh, you don't need to, it's boring. It gets boring. We're going to be spending a lot of, they added a lot of new things in this game that we can do with our free time, which is fantastic as a whole. We'll probably be abusing some of them. Like I said, I have a feeling, there's a certain thing they open up later on in the game, and I don't know. I abuse that with one character, and you'll see it later on in the game. It is something that we can actually do with everyone else too, keeping that in mind if you want to keep everything balanced. I don't. So tomorrow is the deadline. It's the day. It's the big bad day. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's the end-all, be-all, day for Madarame to really kind of confess here and, get arrested and, kind of like, confess his sins, so to speak. And we're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna have time tonight in the game. The game might just tell us,
the exhibition is finally ending tomorrow. I'm sure things will work out fine this time too.
the game might tell me I'm too tired, but it doesn't actually look like that. It looks like I can actually spend time with Kawakami. And like I said, we want to get her confidant arc done sooner rather than later. We're going to actually get a really, really cool thing that's going to be really beneficial to us. Well, once we get it, like, you know. And the cool thing is with New Game Plus, we'll actually be able to utilize that ability, just so you guys know. I don't want to say what the ability is, because I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away, but I'm going to tell you guys, it's really good. It's fantastic. It's weird that it's coming from your teacher, but it's a fantastic bonus here. So I think, you know, we spend time with her. We'll go from 3 to 4. We might actually, because like I'm following this guide here, and I'm looking at this guide, and I think we actually might get a little ahead of the guide here every once in a while, because like I said, this is New Game Plus. So let's see what's going on with Kawakami here and hit rank 4 with her.
Hey! faster! Sorry.
All right.
So...
What's up with that old geezer?
Is he crying?
I have committed crimes that are unbecoming of an artist. Plainly put, I plagiarized work. I tainted this country's art world and even Sayuri. How could I possibly apologize to everyone for what I've done?
He's crying way too much.
And that was from the urgent apology conference by Madarame that took place just a moment ago. After reporting to the association, Madarame has agreed to the police's request to turn himself in.
Wasn't he on TV the other day?
On top of charges of abuse to his pupils, Madarame is under suspicion of claiming their works as his own. Some doubt the validity that his maiden work, Sayuri, was stolen, believing it was used for fraud. This large-scale criminal act has caused a great shock to the art world, and
that old man's done for.
after the conference, Madarame was taken to a police hospital for interrogation due to his age. However, initial psych evaluations state that he is mentally sound and likely responsible for his actions.
There's no need to be nice to an old geezer like that.
Why'd he spill the beans himself? Doesn't that seem weird?
Also, a group calling themselves the Phantom Thieves posted a dubious note at Madarame's exhibit. The police will investigate their relation to this case, but for now, did not identify them as suspects.
Phantom Thieves? Do these bandits have something to do with that old geezer's apology?
of them before. They supposedly steal evil hearts. It's why the culprits apologize.
Wait, what? Steal hearts? That's impossible, though.
But I feel like I saw something about that online, too. They sent out a calling card for real.
Oh, so it was like, we're going to take your heart? Oh, that's impressive if someone really did that.
Phantom thieves, huh?
Phantom thieves again.
You guys see the news about Madarame? It's just like what happened with Kamoshida.
And they mentioned the Phantom thieves!
Man, this is starting to get interesting. If we do it right, we can change people's hearts. With this power, we might be able to do more than just getting back at society. It'll be a big deal. Let's keep pushing on then. As for me, I hope we just keep getting more and more famous.
Something like this happening twice is massive, too. It's too great a coincidence to occur normally.
If we continue doing this, we'll definitely be able to give courage to everyone who needs it.
We may want to quiet down a little.
Do you know them?
You moron! Those are attendance officers!
Hello there. May I speak with you for a moment?
Ah, yes! How can we help you?
That monotonous acting of hers never fails to send a chill down my spine.
What are you all doing here? Are you friends?
Is that so? And how would you do that in a place like this?
We were just discussing where we should go.
Well, all right. Just make sure you disperse before it gets too late, okay? There have been some odd happenings lately, and the news about that artist has caused quite the stir.
We'll be careful.
It's still light out. Man, those guys must have way too much time on their hands.
Hey, don't go making stuff up on the spot like that, okay? I totally panicked because of you.
From now on, we'll need to be even more cautious than before. Look at us. Right after the second Thieves incident, both prior victims are meeting up.
Wait, you mean people might be listening to us?
It'll be fine. Look around, we're the only people worrying about it.
I guess you're right.
By the way, Yusuke, you able to get anything out of Madarame? Remember how he was talking about that suspicious person in the black mask?
Well, I pressed him for answers, but he doesn't even understand what happened to him to begin with.
It's not like he actually saw his desires get stolen after all.
It's rumored that he may be sent to prison. In that case, gaining information will be difficult.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I'll be leaving that house. I can't draw in such a place anymore.
Do you have somewhere to go?
The school dorms. I can stay there free of charge thanks to my fine arts scholarship.
A scholarship? Wait, you're that good?
Although, Takamaki-san's house would do as well.
Wait, what?
You know, you could ask her to model for you whenever you wanted.
You moron!
Then again, now that Yusuke will be living alone, it'll be easier for us to meet up whenever we want.
For the time being, we should wait and see how this case plays out.
And it'll probably take some time finding a target as big as Madarame.
Anyway, we should just act like normal students while we look for our next target, okay?
We'll be entrusting that to you again, Ryuji.
Alright, guess it's just more prep till then.
Yusuke Kitagawa.
So after Shiho Suzui, you did it again for someone you barely knew? You were sent away twice, almost reported to the police, and yet you still wanted to save him. Moreover, you ended up in a museum instead of a castle this time. You're still going to maintain this rubbish about changing someone's heart by stealing their treasure? Very well. The truth behind this tale of yours will be clear once your conspirators are in custody. Now then, tell me about this new member who joined your group. There's no point in being stubborn. It will only damage your position. The identity of Madarame's pupil can be easily discovered with a little investigation. So you won't sell out your accomplice? Fine. There's still much more that I want to hear. It was around this time that the Phantom Thieves began to truly gain popularity. Lies flooded the internet. Things like the Phantom Thieves saved me too, or I got a calling card. For heaven's sake, those lies made the collection of intel take almost 10 times longer. Now your next target was this man. Junya Kaneshiro. He doesn't compare to the previous two. Even the police had been struggling to apprehend him. So, exactly how did you take down such a well-guarded criminal? Tell me.